We were now on day 25 of our road trip. We were finally leaving Florida and starting to head our way back to the East Coast and points north. After 2 nights at Lake City, spent doing some much-needed laundry and restocking of supplies, we were headed to Jekyll Island on the Georgia Gold Coast. Visitors have been attracted to the serene beauty of Jekyll Island for centuries. The island was purchased in 1886 as a private winter retreat for many of America's wealthiest families. It soon became recognized as the richest, most inaccessible club in the world. Club members included such notable figures as J.P. Morgan, Joseph Pulitzer, William K. Vanderbilt, and Marshall Field. Members prized the island for its sense of splendid isolation, beautiful landscape, and moderate climate. Jekyll Island, with its cottage colony and clubhouse, was viewed as a little paradise where members and guests pursued a life of elegant leisure. Once we settled into our site, we had a bit of relaxation time and then went for a stroll to get a feel for the campground. We both agreed that we were very fortunate to have booked such a spacious site, as many of the sites were pretty close together and offered very little privacy. Most of the RV sites did have full services, including cable though. After dinner, we went for another walk down to the area affectionately known as Driftwood Beach. It was high tide and the unique beach did not disappoint. It's our first gator sighting. We had to leave Florida before we saw one. We decided to have our first campfire of the road trip and then settled in for the night.
The next day.
Look at the cardinals. We began our day with a nice long walk with Jakey, knowing that we would have to leave him in the trailer for a few hours while we toured around the island. We stopped at the bird sanctuary within the campground once again. On the southwest tip of the island, we discovered the Wanderer Memory Trail. This trail is an educational experience on Jekyll Island that tells the story of one of America's last known slave ships, the Wanderer. It's located along the banks of the Jekyll River, where the ship illegally came ashore 160 years ago with more than 400 enslaved Africans. Made up of individual exhibits, the trail walks visitors through the story of Umwala, a young African boy brought to America on the ship. Visitors of all ages will follow Umwala's journey from capture through freedom, told through interactive exhibits along the trail. It truly was a sobering hike along the riverbank. This is Glory Beach, where I guess they filmed some scenes, beach scenes from the movie Glory. We stopped at the small village square, which has some boutiques, restaurants, and a general store. Then we made our way to the historic district. Just walking through the old historic district. Hey, hon?
Yep.
Nice day. Oh, look at that tree. Members of the Jekyll Island Club built what they called cottages for their families to enjoy while visiting Jekyll Island, many of which have been carefully restored and are open for tours today. The opulent and spacious vacation homes provided a place for these elite families to enjoy the island's natural landscape and mild winter climate. The Jekyll Island Club was built as the island's exclusive clubhouse and was the site of many elegant events, leisure activities such as croquet and tennis, and a very interesting fun fact, it was also where the first transatlantic phone call took place. Here at the club, they enjoyed a variety of outdoor pursuits, such as hunting, horseback riding, skeet shooting, golf, tennis, biking, croquet, lawn bowling, picnics, and carriage rides. The fear and uncertainty of major events, such as the Great Depression and World War I and II, caused Jekyll Island Club members to abandon their beloved Georgia Island. The state of Georgia purchased Jekyll Island in 1947 and opened the island as a state park a year later. Over time, the forlorn Jekyll Island Club was lovingly preserved and renovated and officially reopened in 1987. Today, the former club grounds comprise a 240-acre site with 34 historic structures. The Jekyll Island Club National Historic Landmark is one of the largest ongoing restoration projects in the southeastern United States, attracting curious guests from around the world. We stumbled upon Horton House, an interesting old relic of a building, which was just a very short bike ride from our campground. After checking out the house, we rode our bikes through a picturesque trail that took us to Horton Pond, where we spied some aquatic life and caught a glimpse of a few camera-shy gators. This is Driftwood Beach at low tide. What a difference. The water's incredibly warm. After dinner, we spent our last evening enjoying the sights on our bikes once again. $18.50. Jekyll Island was a nice stop on our way back up north. It was on our bucket list, and we really enjoyed our time here, but we'd recommend only staying a couple of days if you intend to visit. The island is pretty pricey, and we found that there's not a lot to do once you've wandered through the historic town. The beaches were quite nice and clean, but parking can be tricky, and if camping, you may not be as lucky as we were and find yourself packed in pretty tight. We were tired, and we hit the sack pretty early after a very busy day. Looking forward to more adventures ahead in South Carolina.